Hi, this is Emily, and welcome to the M Dash. If you are new here, I am so glad you found your way here. And if you've been on this journey with me from the beginning, thank you so much for coming back. Last week, I talked about vulnerability, losing the armor, and I reflected back on how I waited to reveal myself so much later in life. Today, we are talking about something just as powerful: staying in this day. Last week, we peeled off the layers. Today, we talk about what happens after, how we live inside a single day without bracing for the next one. I want to start with a question. How do you want to feel today? Whatever word just came to your mind, own it. Don't judge it. Just live in it. And one more question for you. What fear would you let go of? Not forever, just for today. If you can name it, try setting it down for the next 24 hours and see what happens. 24 hours can turn into 48. 48 can turn into 72. And sometimes in that space, you realize you didn't need to carry it the way you thought you did. You don't need everything to shift at once. You need 24 hours you can stand inside. You might need big changes. That is okay. But before all of that, you need one day you can stand in without bracing. Most of us are waiting for Friday, the next what if, what might be, but what is next mentality? Power doesn't live there. Power lives in this minute, in this hour, in this decision, in this breath. Living in today doesn't mean you don't plan. It means you execute what's in front of you instead of spiraling about what isn't. I am still working on that one. Goals are good. You should have them. They drive momentum forward. But if all you're doing is staring at the finish line, you'll miss the steps that get you there. If you're standing in front of something that says out of order, a vending machine, good visual, stop putting money into it. We put so much energy into what isn't giving it back. That is misplaced energy. Reclaim it. Turn around. Find something that works. Maybe it's redirecting that energy into the day you're standing in. That one pivot helps you give energy to the present, to today. Balanced effort, matched intentions, being met, whatever you want to call it, isn't a luxury. It's the minimum requirement. You know what you're giving energy to. Evaluate it. And let it go. Easy to say, right? But letting go is hard. We all know it. We fight because we invested. We hope because we care. We stay because we believe it can change. We confuse endurance with loyalty. We mistake one-sided effort for love, professionalism, or commitment. It doesn't matter what relationship it is. You decide. Letting go can feel like failure, but it's often recognition. Let's try to get through this day with purpose and not worry. Let's try to control what we can and release what we can't. Not dwelling on disappointment and showing up fully to the hours we were given. This isn't motivational fluff. This is survival strategy. How do you start each day? Do you make to-do lists? I highly, highly recommend it. And my dad taught me a way to do it at a young age. And it's about training your brain. And he always taught me to put something on there, at least one thing I would know I would accomplish that day. For me, I still put it on there, and it's making my bed. I make my bed the minute I wake up, no matter what day of the week it is, unless it's sheet wash day. It gets made a little later, but it's something I know I'm going to do, and I can check it off my list. Your brain wants evidence that you can move, so give it proof. Momentum creates lift, and lift creates belief. Belief changes what's possible. If you stop borrowing stress and stop pouring into silence and stop rehearsing disasters and just own your next 24 hours, you will feel like you can fly. Not because everything is fixed, but because you moved. And movement is power. Before you do anything else today, before you solve anything, before you fix anything, just notice this. Take one of your hands, if you're not driving and you're comfortable with this, and put it over your heart. Close your eyes if you want to. But just notice that you woke up. Your 2 feet are on the ground. Your lungs are working. Your heart is beating. You are still here, and that is not small. Sometimes overwhelm hits us, and then the guilt follows. We think to ourselves, we should be doing more. We should be further. We should be more grateful. But overwhelm is not a lack of gratitude, and struggle is not a lack of love. Fatigue is not lack of purpose. You can feel heavy and still love your life. Both are allowed. You don't need to solve next week. You don't need to fix next month. You don't need to rehearse Wednesday. You need to honor today, because today is the only place your power lives. Not in what might or might not happen, not in who might leave, in today. Remember the pandemic? Did normal seem better? I remember the pandemic. I had to go to the hospital. I wasn't feeling right, and 1 minute they were testing me for COVID, and the next minute I woke up with 3 tubes in me, 2 in my arm and 1 in my hand. My organs were struggling, thinking, what happened? Feeling alone and scared. And on day 5, I remember looking at the ceiling, waiting for the doctor to come in, thinking to myself, if I get out of here, I will never forget that today is a gift. Not in a cliche way, in a cellular way. It became an awakening for me, paying attention to what I wasn't paying attention to. If you're listening to this and your week already feels heavy and your heart feels tired, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are not alone. You are alive. And that means you get another 24 hours to love better, rest deeper, choose differently. Stop pouring where you're the only source. Set one boundary. Make one promise to yourself and keep it. That's flight. Not because everything changed, because you did. Just for today, set one fear down. Not forever, just for 24 hours. And see who you are without carrying it. You might surprise yourself. You might remember how strong you are. You might remember how blessed you already are. And that's enough lift to fly. My friend recently, Colleen, reached out to me and asked me what advice I'd like to share. Not me personally, but she was putting a book together of friends and what advice they got or words of wisdom she could put all together to hand out as gifts. And it took me a couple of days to get back to her because it was in print and I probably was overthinking it. But I really wanted it to be meaningful. What mattered to me? And I have this Post-it I've had on my computer since 2017. I don't remember where I got this quote, but it's been on my computer. And it says, trade your expectations for appreciation and watch your whole life change instantly. And I go back to it because how many times do we go into things with expectations without appreciation for where we are, that we are here, and what we can experience? Ask yourself again, what do I want to feel today? What fear do I want to let go of? Notice if anything shifts. Notice if you softened. Notice if you took one more step towards something. You don't need to accomplish 25 things in a day. Just one. Building blocks. But you are in control of how you feel. And asking yourself this question can change your day. Feel your feet on the ground. Wiggle your toes inside your shoe. Feel the breath you are taking in. Feel the cold air going in and the warm air going out. Feel that you are here. So let's land this with a blessing for today. May you remember that you are still standing. May you feel your feet in your shoes and know you are not fragile. Today is not about fixing your whole life. It's about proving to yourself that you can handle this day. May you choose one steady action and let it be enough to build momentum. May you trust that strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like showing up. Sometimes it looks like making the call. Sometimes it looks like getting out of bed when no one sees it. You are not behind. You are in motion. This day belongs to you. You are here. You are capable. Today is enough. Remember, walk into today like it's already turning in your favor. Try these questions tonight, or if it feels like a lot from today, try it tomorrow. But let's anchor your nervous system for deep rest. Is there anything my body is still carrying that I can consciously release? Breathe into it. Notice what part of your body feels it when you ask yourself that. And most importantly, what is one thing I am proud of today? Even if it's tiny, small wins count. Thank you so much for being here today and staying with this, staying with yourself, staying with today. My name is Emily, and this is the M Dash, and you are always welcome here.